Hello, I'm Kelly, and welcome to Kelly Loves Books and Movies. Missed a little bit last week, so I am doing a tag actually on Tag Tuesday to make up for it. This is the Spring is in the Air tag. It's an original tag by Daniela at Uncommon Reader and Reney at Beyond Books, and I believe I was tagged by Reney, but who knows anymore. I've lost track. And spring, I don't know if spring's in the air. Friday it was 70 degrees. Yesterday we got 2 inches of snow. And of course it's already all melted. But you know what? Tomorrow we're going to get 2 inches of snow again. I don't like spring. Just saying. Late spring maybe. But now this time of year, do not like. Not a fan. Alright. First question. Spring chicks. Name a book that made you feel warm and fuzzy. I am picking whenever I do these tags, I try to think of stuff that I read a long time ago, but it's always the newer stuff that's in my head. So I picked Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which it's a romance, and it's kind of enemies to, well, not really enemies to lovers, because they weren't really enemies, but one of those weren't friends, had to keep their relationship secret because of other friends that were enemies, but they're now friends. So it was warm and fuzzy at the end. Okay. April Showers, a book that is set near or on the water. Also something I just read, which you get in my wrap up, and that is Our Wives Under the Sea. And I don't want to say a lot about it because it's going to be in my monthly wrap-up coming up. So let's just say, it takes place, very much water is a very big part of that book. Spring break. Talk about a time you took a break from reading and why. Well, I can't remember a time where I took a break intentionally, but because this might be the case for many of you, but once they came out with an iPhone, weren't we all distracted by that? I read a lot up until the iPhone, and then the iPhone came out, and then my reading went. But I'm now getting better, and I am making it a point to put the phone away at night and read. So that was kind of a break, just because of the distraction of the phone. Swallow's Homecoming, a book or author that you always go back to for comfort. I am picking Janet Ivanovich and the Stephanie Plum series, because even though, some books are obviously better than others, I'm always excited to read them, and they're always fun, and I always know it's going to be a good time, and that's fun and comforting to me. Blooms, a book that started slowly but blossomed to be one of your favorite reads. Well, for me, this was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It did start slow for me. I didn't know I didn't know if it was going to be like this typical, romance. I didn't really know what it was going to be because I didn't read a lot about it ahead of time. I just knew that it was very popular, and I definitely got going, and it was definitely my favorite read of the year so far. Eggs in a Basket, 3 books that you want to read this spring. Well, I want to read The Nightingale, Kristen Hanna. I bought that a couple weeks ago now, and it's top of my list of things. Maybe I will pick it up one of these days. Families and Other Calamities, that actually, I thought it came out in May, but I guess it's June 1st, and that is by Leslie Grace Streeter, a columnist who I used to read all the time when I lived in Florida, and it is her first novel. She has a memoir from before that I really enjoyed, and I want to finally read East of Eden. I was in Monterey Bay last weekend. Didn't do any John Steinbeck stuff other than my friends saying, "There's the statue." But yeah, we did go to the aquarium. That was really cool. Anyway, But yeah, I do want to read East of Eden. It's also been on the top of my list for quite a while, so that is one of my books I'm hoping to read this spring. Green Pastures, a classic that never gets old. Well, my classic that never gets old is my favorite book, and that's O Pioneers. I'm sure you remember me talking about it many times because it is my favorite, and it will never ever get old for me. I mean, I don't read it yearly. I could read it yearly easily and never get sick of it. Pollen, a book or author that you are allergic to. I'm not really sure. Here's the thing. I'm going to mention two authors, and both of them I have only read one book. They're both very popular authors. First one, Colleen Hoover. I read It Ends With Us. Was not my thing. Did not like it. Not really wanting to read any more Colleen Hoover. Although, maybe there are some I should read. I don't know. If there are, let me know. The other one, this is also a very popular author, and that's Jodi Picoult. Because I read Sing You Back Home not long after it came out, and I hated that book. Hated it. It's just, I mean, there are books that I kind of didn't like and was like mad at, but I wanted to throw that book across the room multiple times. And I don't think it was, I think she's probably a really good writer. I just haven't read anything else of hers, and I'm not really thrilled about reading anything else of hers, but I probably should. But yeah, I hated that book so much, and it was mostly because it's a book about a relationship between two women, but it's still centered a relationship with a man too much for my taste. Because it's like, what are we talking about here? Why, it was too focused. It just drove me crazy. And I actually think that if she wrote it today, it wouldn't be that way, maybe. Because, back then, I guess maybe that's what people thought. But I don't know. It was just, yeah, I hated it. Wanted to throw it across the room. I may have actually thrown it across the room. I don't remember. But yeah, I'm sure she has great books. I mean, I just don't want to. But if there's something I should read, let me know. All right. That's all I wrote down. I feel like I missed something. And the rest is just like tag other people. And obviously, if you haven't done this yet, consider yourself tagged. But that's the Spring is in the Air tag. A great new tag from Daniela and Reney. And thanks for watching. See y'all next time.